Hey, what's going on, guys? It's DK. Back at you with another video here to break down the Charles Schwab Tournament that starts on Thursday for PGA. So if you guys are new to the channel, my name's DK. I make daily videos breaking out NBA, NFL, PGA, and esports daily fantasy sports slates. Esports including Call of Duty, League of Legends, and Counter-Strike CSGO. Also, just want to say thank you guys for all support. We are now at 3.3 thousand subscribers. Again, if you guys enjoy this content, really appreciate if you could hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. It does really help me out to continue to grow this channel. But yeah, with that out of the way, let's jump into it. So my first ever video here talking about PGA. Just want to throw this out there. I'm not an expert, but what I did is I have played PGA in the past, played golf in the past, DFS, and what I did was I made a little spreadsheet with some numbers. We can go over that in a bit. But yeah, what we can do, if you guys are new to PGA in the scoring format, what we can do is we can look at how it's scored on Draftkings really quick before we get into the player-by-player breakdown. So this is the scoring here. On the left-hand side, you have like for each hole, right? So double eagle plus 13, eagle plus 8, birdies plus 3, pars plus 0.5, bogey minus 0.5, double bogey minus 1, worse than double bogey minus 1. So right, just looking at these numbers, it's better to have more of an inconsistent golfer, right? The guy who has a lot of birdies, maybe a lot of bogeys, than it is to just have the guy that shoots all pars, right? So it's better to be a little bit more up and down in that aspect of it. You do get a couple streaks bonus here, 3 points for streaks of 3 birdies or better. Bogey 3 round is plus 3. All 4 rounds in our 70 is plus 5, hole-in-ones plus 5. And then you have the tournament finish scoring, so how they finish, right? First place 30 points, second place 20, so on, down to 40, first to 50th is 1 point. So that's kind of the breakdown there of the scoring. I do have the page up here on Draftkings. Again, we have a $1 million maker, 1 million to first for this PGA Championship, so really excited to break this one down. What I can do now is I can switch over the spreadsheet I made for you guys. So give me 1 second. Let me do that. All right, you should see it now. Let's see. Okay, that looks pretty good. All right, so what we have here is on the left-hand side, so we have the players. We have their DraftKings salary. We have their Vegas odds. So 7, that means 7 to 1 to win. So Rory right now is the favorite to win. Then it goes, so on and so forth. We have their average fantasy points per game. Right now they're on Draftkings. I included that. I included their wins on there. Again, some of this is a little bit different because, obviously some wins are better than others. Some are against easier competition, but included that. Included their top 10s, the cut made percentage, and then some course history. So included the last 3 years here of the Charles Schwab Tournament. So normally PGA, DFS, what you look for is recent form 1 and course history 2. Now, we don't really have recent form, right, because we haven't seen these guys play in like 3 months. So that is a little bit, you can look at, their long-term, how they're doing long-term, but still, it's a little bit different. It's going to be more variant in my opinion. And again, we do have the course history. So what we can do is, again, we can go over some of my favorite plays for this tournament, and then I can also tweet out this spreadsheet for you guys. I'll probably tweet it out, Tuesday or Wednesday, so to help you guys make your lineups as well. But yeah, let's just jump into it. So at the top here, we have Rory McIlroy, who has been in amazing form. His price is at 11.8K. Now, he will be popular, I think, because Roy's he was so good before this. He's been playing some really, really good golf. All the numbers for Rory have been great. The issue is, again, just the price point, 11.8K. Again, he's the favorite to win as well, 7 to 1 odds. Do I want to pay 11.8K for Rory McIlroy on this slate? I don't know if I do, because I feel like that's a lot to sacrifice to get him in there. Normally, how I build my PGA lineups, I would say most of the time I like more of the balanced approach. So a lot of the guys in the 7 to 8K range, maybe like 1 or 2 guys in the 9K range. But that's usually my build unless I feel pretty confident in like one of the value plays. But the value plays on, at least for this tournament, there's nothing that really stands out as like an amazing play to me. So I kind of just like the balanced approach a little bit better. So for that reason alone, I don't think I'm going to get to Rory. But if you look at, who's below him, right? You have Jon Rahm, Justin Thomas. Jon Rahm, you could argue, has been just as good. He has 12-1 odds to win. If you look at the course history, just in like the top 10 guys, Jon Rahm has the best history, right? He finished second in 2017, fifth in 2018. Now, did get cut last year, but everyone else, again, not everyone plays in this tournament every year, so we don't have data for everyone. But just looking at the top guys, he stands out as someone who has done pretty well, in this tournament. And he's about $1,000 less than Rory McIlroy. So, am I going to prefer Rory over Jon Rahm? Probably not. I think I would prefer the savings in Jon Rahm. And then, okay, so let's talk about some other guys I like here. One guy that really stands out to me is Dustin Johnson, 9.5K. I just think that's really, really cheap price point for him. If you played PGA last year, Dustin Johnson was the guy that was always the most expensive or the second most expensive player. Now he's what? 7th most expensive, 8th most expensive, whatever it is. 9.5K. You're getting a $2,000 discount off of, or over $2,000 discount off of Rory McIlroy, right? So Dustin Johnson right now is one of my favorite plays. Sure, you could argue he hasn't been as good a form, right? His last 3 tournaments tied for 32nd, tied for 10th, and tied 48th. Before that, he did finish 2nd and then tied for 7th. So DJ is a guy, when he's playing well, too, he has upside to put up an enormous score for you. So I do really like DJ at that price. He's one of my favorite, if not my favorite plays for this tournament. So really do like him. Again, he's coming in at 25-1 odds to win. He has pretty good points per game. He's made 100% of the cuts. Doesn't have any course history, but at that price point, again, I do really like Dustin Johnson. Another guy I'll talk about is Webb Simpson. He just seems to be Mr. Consistent, at least for PGA. He never seems to miss cuts. He always seems to be up there in the top 10. He has 5 top 10s here. He did finish 5th in 2017. So Webb Simpson's a guy at 9.8K. Last year he was in like the 8K range. So the price has come up on him, but I still have interest in Webb Simpson. He seems, again, to be Mr. Consistent. So those are a couple guys that stand out to me. Dustin Johnson, Webb Simpson. Let's go down a little bit here. So Ricky Fowler is always a guy that's popular. I do kind of like playing him too. He's been, a little bit up and down, not great. 9.4K seems a little bit overpriced. I think, just because his name, just because he's a popular golfer, it might be a little bit over-owned. But I still have some interest there. Sungjae Im at 9.3K. This is a guy I think will be somewhat popular. He's been in really good form before, obviously the coronavirus, right? He finished 1st in the Honda Classic and then 3rd in the Arnold Palmer tournament. So Sungjae Im is a guy that I think will definitely get some ownership here. Again, he's coming at 9.3K, 28-1 odds to win. I think he's someone that does intrigue me. Again, he's going to be pretty popular, but I do have interest there. Other plays here, if we scroll down a little bit more, I think Tony Finau at 8.7K. I think that looks like a pretty good price point for him. Again, when he's playing well, he seems to have pretty big upside, right? He's a guy that can get you a lot of birdies. He's coming in, again, at 8.7K, 35-1 odds. That's not bad at all. He does have 4 top 10s. Finished 2nd here. Or is that? Hold on. Yeah, did finish 2nd here in 2019 and then 29th in 2017. So he's another guy that does have good, recent performance on this course. So he's someone that I think stands out as a pretty good option. We can scroll down a little bit more, right? We have Jordan Spieth. So Jordan Spieth is a guy that is talked about a lot in the DFS community. He's someone that, has just not been good for, it seems like, a long time now. Now, sure, he was a couple years ago, he was one of the best golfers, if not the best golfer, but he has just not been in good form recently. Now, you are getting him at a pretty decent price point at 8K. So, if you look at his most recent performances, not great, right? Tied for 58th, tied for 59th, tied for 9th, and then cut. The one good thing about Jordan Spieth is he's a very, very good putter, right? So if he's driving the ball well, if he's hitting those mid-range shots well, you can expect Jordan Spieth to have a pretty good day. So 8K, I think, is someone that I do have a little bit of interest in. Again, he's someone that it seems like everyone always talks about him for PGA DFS, but 40-1 odds aren't bad. Again, 8K looks decent price point. Hasn't been great recently, but in this course history, right, 8th in 2019, 32nd in 2018, and then 2nd in 2017. That's always good, right? So I think he stands out as a decent play. Again, he'll be talked about a lot here. Another option I like here is Kevin Na, 7.6K. He won this tournament last year, finished 4th before that. Another guy that, again, you're getting him at a pretty nice discount there, 7.6K. He's been in decent form recently, or again, before the coronavirus, I should say. So Kevin Na at that price point, again, 50-1 odds, not bad for a guy in the 7K range. So I think he stands out as another good play that I'm very much interested in. Joel Dahman was a guy that actually played in the Outlaw Tour. If you guys played that, that was I believe it was in Arizona, the tournament that was going on when this coronavirus happened. A bunch of, mostly amateur players, but Joel Dahman did step up and play that. I think he shot like a 58 one round. So just thought I would bring that up. He has, again, he looked good in that tournament at least. But I think he's someone that does look decent. Benny On at 7.4K, he's a guy that always seems to garner ownership. If you play PGA a lot, he just is someone that always seems to be high owned. The issue with him is just his putting. Terrible putter. But other than that, I mean, he's a really, really good golfer. So if you can just get his putting together for one tournament, you could see some upside in this guy. Again, if you look at his odds, pretty good for the guys priced around him, right? You have 80-1, 66, like a lot of guys in that range. Above him, and then you have Benny on at 50-1. So not bad there, right? Doesn't have any course history. Again, he's someone that I think will be popular because he just seems to always be popular in these PGA tournaments. But I think he's someone that does stand out as a pretty decent play for some value. If we scroll down a little bit more, Phil Mickelson's probably a guy that will garner ownership just because of the name, but I don't know if I want to go there. Russell Knox has had a couple of nice performances here last two times. Charles Schwab, 8th and then 20th. He's at 7.2K. Some other guys that have looked decent, right? Roy Sabatini, 6th and 20th. You have Emmanuel Grillo has looked really good in this tournament, right? 19th, 3rd, and 24th. He's another guy that always seems to be somewhat popular as a value option, but I have interest there. 125-1 odds. Not terrible, right? We scroll down a little bit more. Corey Connors, decent history, right? 31st and then 8th. But then you get into the range where, below kind of the 7K range is where you get really risky. And that's why normally my builds are the more balanced approach because there's not a whole lot of great options below this price range, to be honest. Now, sure, are there some viable guys? Of course there are, right? I think like a Rafael Cabrera Bello at 6.9K looks okay. Victor Perez, 6.9K. He does kind of have a high fantasy points per game, but that he hasn't been. It's been against lesser competition, right? So you got to take some of these numbers with a little bit of grain of salt, right? Let's see other options that I would maybe consider. Again, a guy like Jimmy Walker, 19th and 20th last couple of years. He's at 6.7K. You have Mackenzie Hughes, 8th and 42nd, right? So there's really not a whole lot that stands out to me down here, but you can scroll through if you want. Steve Stricker, 6.2K, but he seems to be definitely past his prime now. But yeah, included I have everyone in here. So again, guys, I will tweet this out probably either Tuesday or Wednesday to help you guys kind of build your tournaments now, or build your lineups, I should say. Now let's go back to DraftKings really quick here. So yeah, there are some other stats I can include. Again, guys, I'm not an expert in this, but there's definitely some more stats I can include for like future tournaments, right? So there's stats like driving distance, driving accuracy, greens and regulation percentage, SG total, SGT to green, SG putting, scrambling ranks. So these are all things I can include in my future spreadsheets. So let me know if that's something you guys are interested in. It's always good to kind of look over that stuff as well. But yeah, I think that really wraps it up, guys. Again, so my kind of strategy for this tournament is I like the more balanced approach, right? So a lot of the guys in the 8K range, a couple, maybe 1 or 2 in the 9K range, and I'll probably have to play 1 or 2 in the 7K range. But if you get to a guy like Rory, right, 11.8K, I feel like you have to sacrifice a lot to get him in there. If you play Rory, you basically need him to get you top 3, right? So yeah, it's again, it's an interesting slate. We had $1 million tournament, so really, really excited for this, and hopefully the spreadsheet helped you guys out again. I will tweet that out either tomorrow or Wednesday, so be on the lookout for that. My Twitter is in the description below, which is DK__DFS. But yeah, thanks again for everyone to come and check the video. Really do appreciate it. Hope you guys are all staying safe, staying healthy. I will have a video up if you guys are interested in CSGO. I'll have my breakdown for CSGO up later after this last game finishes with Heroic and Vitality. But yeah, thanks again, guys. Really do appreciate it. And I will see you all in the next video.